First memory of wrestling is there was a movie rental house close to where I lived, and I used to go there, and I would always see these VHSs at the time, and you'd have your Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior on the cover, and I'm like, I'm gonna check this out. And so with my allowance, right to the movie house, rent the video, and I would just have an 8-hour just love fest watching wrestling. My name is Corbin McVicker, and I am a professional wrestler and a car salesman. I wrestled in high school, played soccer and baseball. Those were kind of my three sports. Graduated in 2000 from Lamar's Community High School. And then I heard rumblings around school about these guys that were doing what's called backyard wrestling. And about a year after that, we all pooled our money together and bought a wrestling ring. I heard about some guys up in Minnesota that wrestled. So the Minnesota guys actually came to one of our shows. A couple of us came up to a show up in Albert Lea. So I moved up here. And then we went to a show in Faribault, Minnesota. There was a difference. We're like, these are professional wrestlers. What we're doing is not professional. One of the guys had a business card for a wrestling school. 4 of us went and checked it out, and all 4 of us enrolled that day in wrestling school. And on an average weekend, you'd be in Milwaukee Thursday, the cities Friday, Green Bay Saturday, back to the cities on Sunday. I've got 2 plates and 10 screws in my right ankle. I've got a broken toe on my right foot that never heals. Every time it's close to healing, I re-injure it. I've got a torn rotator cuff and torn labrum in my right shoulder. And the worst has by far been concussions. I can remember this, I've had 6 of them. And the most major one I had, we did a retirement show for a guy named Jerry Lynn. We're in the match, and my second time I was in the ring, I got in there, and that is the last thing I remember from that night. I remember I'm backstage, and I remember I'm looking for the restroom. And a guy goes, "What are you looking for?" I go, "The restroom." Anytime I've ever been here at First Avenue, you walk this way, you go down the stairs, and the restroom is right there. And they're like, "Aaron, you're at the Civic Center in Minneapolis." The biggest, best show I've ever been on, and I don't have any memories of it, so that's kind of a bummer. But no lasting concussion effects, though. Not even close. I've been the bad guy more than the good guy. I've been the good guy sometimes, and that's all right, and that's fun. It's cool to do the, slap the hands and kiss the babies like you're running for president or something, but there's nothing better to me in this world. It is the most addictive feeling to walk out in front of a few hundred people and have them just boo you out of the building. Just hate your gut. It is the best. That's right, you gotta have that bad guy. The best Marvel movies in the world had Thanos, right? And then you got Captain America and Iron Man trying to get to Thanos. So I love being Thanos, and I love all the Captain Americas and coming after me. Top accomplishment, I've got a couple. There's a promotion called Steel Domain Wrestling in Minnesota. Winning their heavyweight championship was a big deal for me. They're called Paradise City Wrestling. And I was their first champion. And the guy who owns the company and runs it is Mitch Paradise. So I got to beat the hometown boy in front of his hometown crowd for his belt. Was super cool. My best friend Cody O'Neill, we won the tag team titles from the North Star Express, who was my brother Darren Corbin and his partner Ryan Cruz, in a TLC match. So tables, ladders, and chairs. I was on the first 6 WrestlePalooza shows. WrestlePalooza is the biggest deal in wrestling in Minnesota. That company, First Wrestling, just ran a show at the Mall of America. Little Easter egg, hidden fact, I was the first person that ever got to tell Eric Cannon that a WrestlePalooza sold out.
You nip up, I'll see you, I'll feed up, you line me.
I had always known I'd be involved in other aspects of wrestling. I've always had a very creative mind for wrestling. I helped plenty of promoters book and promote their shows and put their shows together in a way that I think crowds would really react to it. And then an opportunity came up at it's called the 1029 Bar in Northeast Minneapolis. I run shows there once a year, and they've gradually grown the shows over the years. We've done a great job. And during that, an opportunity came up in Faribault, Minnesota. A place called the Trinity Lutheran Church has a fundraiser for their Trinity Radio Club. And this radio club, they're teaching the youth at the church how to run radio, program radio, talk on the radio, do all the behind the scenes stuff for radio, and I believe they do some TV producing too. And they're like, we want to raise money for this in a wrestling show. And a wrestling show in a church can be tough because there is a line, you're in a church, and there's a line you have to be very careful of. I'm like, I think I can pull this off. So I've run that for, I think we're on our 5th or 6th one now. grown the crowds every year. Every year we've made the radio club more money. My wife, my friends, my kids love coming to the shows, so it hasn't always been the smoothest. I haven't always been the best at the mix between family life, work life, and wrestling. So being able to mesh those three that's probably been my biggest accomplishment so far, is meshing those three together into all three being pretty successful at. But wrestling has really taught me to you take the best parts of yourself and accentuate them, and the stuff you're not so good at, you put over here and you kind of downplay those as much as humanly possible. So when I'm being a bad guy, I just take the absolute worst parts of myself and turn them up to 10. And I just amp them up. And if you think every day of your life you're out there, you're having a bad day, imagine being able to turn that up on the weekends. It's great. But it's for sure, I'm better at reading people now for sales because I can read a crowd. I've learned how to read people. You know, you learn when to take that step back. And just that character part of you that you can kind of separate from maybe the real you sometimes, for sure helps with sales, everyday life. It's just, you know, you become really good at reading people and situations, which I all got from wrestling. Wrestling to me is the best parts of any movie you've ever watched. It's the best parts of drama. It's the best parts of stand-up comedy, improv theater, a stunt show, all wrapped into one. And if you can do that and make that combo of all of those things into one, that's when wrestling works as good as it can work. And when wrestling works, it is pure art, and for me, it's the best pure form of entertainment on planet Earth. I will stand on a hill till I can't stand anymore and say wrestling is the best pure form of entertainment you will ever see in your life if you give it a chance.